Have you ever thought about some of the civilization which lived before us? No, we are not talking about the ancient Egyptians or the Indus Valley civilizations, rather those which we know so little about. There are rumored to be entire cities and civilizations which have been shrouded in mystery for hundreds of years. Might you have heard of El Dorado? The myth has to come from somewhere, right? No one has the time to be sitting around and making up random cities. Today, we at Purple Hippo are going to be talking about the most popular mythical city of all time. You guessed it, today's video is going to be none other than the lost city of Atlantis. Before we start, subscribe to Purple Hippo and ring that bell icon to get regular updates on the latest uploads. Let's start with number 10. Number 10. Ignatius Donnelly. Donnelly was a former US congressman who existed in the 19th century. He had a firm belief that the city of Atlantis existed and even wrote a book on it. The book titles Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. In his book, he talked about and gave evidence related to how Atlantis as a civilization existed and gave rise to other cultures at that time. He claims that Atlantis is now at the bottom of the ocean and covered by volcanic ash, which has lined the surface of our oceans. He also took a biblical take suggesting that the city was wiped out during the Great Flood mentioned in the Bible. We see that Donnelly did indeed have his biases, but it's his book and his word which got us talking about the lost city again after centuries. Number 9. The Writings of Charles Berlitz. After the stimulation of thought that Donnelly had started, American writer Berlitz had something to say about the topic. He claimed that the city of Atlantis existed somewhere around the Bahamas. He further theorizes that due to the mystery surrounding the Bermuda Triangle, it is possible that the triangle swallowed the city completely. He also claimed that you can see something at the bottom of the ocean floor. He and others have claimed that there are rocks and stones at the bottom of the ocean bed, which certainly look like the remains of structures. He and others of his time believe that these stones could be indication that the city could have existed but was swallowed by the ocean. Number 8. Atlantis was part of Antarctica. Other evidence shows that some 12,000 years ago, a great continent's chunk broke off and drifted away. This roughly ties into the time which the lost city existed. It was believed that an advanced civilization existed on this broken continent. They claimed that Antarctica was indeed the true home of the lost city. However, since it was so long ago, there is no real evidence for us to go by. We see that the tectonic shifts at the time certainly could have led to a chunk breaking off, but was that really Atlantis? Well, it could have been. Guess we'll never really know, will we? Number 7. The Minoan Culture. Could the stories be referring to the Minoan culture? The city, which existed around 3500 BC, certainly sounds a lot like Atlantis' story. The people were ahead of their time in culture, development, and art. They were a special civilization that influences others and slowly disappeared off the Earth's face, much like the Atlantis story. Earthquakes and the eruption of the volcano Thera brought the demise of the great city. It sounds awfully similar to the story of Atlantis now, doesn't it? The Minoan culture is one of the closest cultural examples we have relating back to the city of Atlantis. Do you think this could have been the city? Let us know in the comments below. Number 6. Structure west of Mexico. Google Earth researchers have found an enormous structure just west of Mexico. They claim that the structure appears to be significant enough in size to be the lost city of Atlantis. They have also claimed that what they have found is shaped like the pyramid and could indicate some sort of lost civilization. Naturally, when we think of large structures underwater, our minds naturally go towards the lost city of Atlantis. Could this have been the city of the myth? Perhaps more research is necessary when it comes to making a statement about Atlantis. As much as we want to believe that this might just be the city, we are going to need to do some more research into the finding. Number 5. Statues in Cyprus. Off the coast of Cyprus, strange things have been found in the water. It is rumored that divers have found evidences of Greek statues deep on the ocean bed. Though no pictures have been taken yet, this could be a breakthrough in the discovery of the lost city. However, let us not rule out the chance that people could be playing pranks and piquing the interest of conspiracy theorists. However, if these statues are real, we may have found Atlantis or something similar. Number 4. Stories of bulls rituals and the Minoans. Plato talks about the ancient rituals related to drinking the blood of bulls after a sacrifice in Atlantis. Recent archaeological discoveries in Crete show similar depictions to the story which Plato told and could be a major indicator of where the city lay. Once again, we see the Minoans taking center stage in the theory of Atlantis. Modern-day Crete was, in fact, where the Minoans used to be. Therefore, we see evidence which ties Minoan culture to that of Atlantis. Were they the same thing? Only time and research will tell. Number 3. Santorini ruins. Greek mythology plays a major role in Atlantis' tale, so it should come as to no surprise that some of the evidence of the lost city has been found in Santorini. Preservation has been done of the ruined city in order to maintain the history of the place and conduct further research into the city. Popular theory amongst the locals is that this was indeed the city of Atlantis. It's hard to disagree with the people of the city itself, who have spent their life living around the ruins and learning tales about the historical mythical city. It also ties in fairly well with the writings of Plato. Could this really be the lost city of Atlantis? Number 2. Yonaguni Monument. Perhaps the only Asian example which we have the story of Atlantis. In the mid-80s, a man discovered this colossal structure while diving on the coast of Yonaguni Island. It is believed that the structure dates back some 60,000 years and give an indication of a modern civilization. In order for people to make such a structure, they would have had to have certain capabilities and intelligence. These are traits which the city of Atlantis was famous for. Therefore, could Japan be housing the lost city of Atlantis? Could we have been looking in the wrong places this entire time? Perhaps it may be possible, but we are going to need to read deeper into Plato's work to decode where the lost city may have been. Number 1. Belief in Plato. Plato and his teachings have aided in the creation of society as we know it today. There is an undeniable role which the writer has played in several avenues of society. We all know the contribution he has made to philosophy in the last 2,000 or so years. But he has also influenced psychology in ways that one could never have imagined. Therefore, simply by the fact that we hold Plato in such high regard, isn't that enough to accept that what he was saying about the city of Atlantis is true? At this point, it shouldn't come as no surprise that we blindly follow what Plato had to say. If we do or don't, it's irrelevant, because we are no closer to finding the Atlantis lost city than we ever were before. There is a fair chance that we will never find the lost city. Even if it did exist, it is probably washed away and covered with dirt at the bottom of the sea. Finding it may be one of the biggest discoveries of our time, but let's be honest, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We hope that you have enjoyed this video. Make sure you share it with your friends and like the video if you truly enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe to Purple Hippo if you haven't already. Moreover, make sure you tell us what you think about the lost city. Will we ever find it? Do you think some of the findings which we have talked about might indicate the city? See you in the next video.